Welcome, team, to the fifth session. Today it's again your time, as usual, but it's you're driving the conversation with your necessity, with your research and questions and driver questions and fears and pains and whatever you want to share with the team, so that we can grab it and mold it and bring possibilities together. And before we start, again, as usual, logistics. So who wants to put the dojo stick forward?
Yeah, I'm looking for someone who could take over the dojo on Friday for this week, because I cannot do it. I have another commitment. So who want to hold space for the dojo on Friday between 9:30 and 11:30 a.m. in the morning?
European time.
Yes.
Yeah, for some it will be quite early. Okay.
So if there's no necessity.
Yeah, but like this is it's a part of your EHP dojo proposal also to another circle than only this circle, right? This
Yes.
is what you're doing regularly. So okay.
Yeah, but there I can also ask for.
Yeah,
But
that
no,
would be the
asking,
second.
Yeah.
I'm
asking here.
I can't be next Friday.
This Friday.
This Friday, yes.
Yes. Thank you. You
Cool.
you can or
What are
you
you-
will.
I will.
Thank you, Alexandra.
Thank you, Alexandra.
I sent you the link you can use because it's regular. And I sent you the dates you can log in.
Yeah, you explain me in the another call.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Super. There was another one and a weekend one. Under the week, during the weekend, on the weekends.
Yes, on Tuesday, who wants to hold space on next Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. CT, European time?
I will do it.
Okay. Thank you.
Great.
And also my dojo, which is on Sunday morning, who would like to take over the space?
I would like to hold the space on Sunday, and I have the question if morning or evening, because we are in different time zones, is more appropriate. I can do both. So either it would be 8:30 to 10 o'clock in the morning, or around 6 p.m. evening. So who would show up, rather morning or evening? Like in the morning, Sunday, 8:30 to 10, who is in for that? Okay, that would be Eva. And in the evening at 6 o'clock, who would join there? Okay. So I would propose, I will do it in the evening. And Eva, maybe you also make it happen that you would join in the evening if you want.
You want to do that?
Hmm?
In the evening, you want to do that?
6 p.m.
Yeah, towards also.
Okay, cool. So let's do that. 6 o'clock Sunday. I'm holding space. Wonderful.
And
Great.
I'm offering EHP dojo for Monday
Which time?
in the morning time, I guess at 10 a.m. European time.
Cool. Super. Great. And everyone Carol?
I have a request. Can we write down? I can do it now, all the hours, and post it in the group.
Thank you.
So it's Sunday, 6:30, yes, or 6.
6, like Sunday, 6 p.m., 1.5 hours to 2 hours, but yeah. Then Monday, it was 10 to 11:30 or 12 in the morning.
11:30.
11:30. Then there was Tuesday evening, Karen.
7 to 9.
7
p.m.
to 9, great. And then Friday, when is it? 9:30.
9:30.
9:30, 2 hours.
Friday,
Yes.
9:30 in the morning, or
Yes.
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 Cool. Thank you, Carol, for
Thank you.
summarizing. Great. Anything else for logistics? Okay, so then we are closing the space, and the space is open for your discoveries. How is it going with your clients? It can be related to all topics, like the newbies, the memetic engineering, whatever you discovered, what was popping up during your research with clients, or even also without clients. If you need possibilities, bring them in now.
I have a question about memetic engineering process, because I was watching some videos on the website, and also I did one with my client, and I have this question: how to, when the client already see the construct, he's aware about all these elements and so on, because sometimes I saw in the video that the coach is asking him the question, so where are you when you see the construct? And the client say, I'm outside. So he is already outside. And sometimes the coach is guiding to find some door or a window to go out from the construct. And the question is, like, and sometimes there are both. And the question is how to lead the client, like, in which way? Like, so that to find always this entrance, or to ask this question, because if he described basically, then he already is outside. Like, what is the difference in this navigation?
So what I found is that there is no right or wrong. It's like this is the direction, and what I'm scanning is the necessity that the client would need to understand what is really affecting, or how this construct is really affecting her or his life. And not only from the mental level, like when sometimes people are from the outside, my detector goes on, is like, I think they already thought a lot, many times about this construct, because due to conversations or other mental researches, but they were not really in the construct. And then I would guide them, like, into the space again. But it's more about that you are sensing what is the necessity for the person, what is the next step they need to get, so that the next door is opening for them automatically. And so how was it with your client? Like, how was it going?
Yeah, so I asked him actually if he sees some entrance from this construct, and he could see it. So I didn't ask this question, where are you if you can describe this construct? I was going just this way. And what I realized is that because he was standing and the entrance was like somewhere in the ceiling, and he couldn't find the way how to go there. And I asked him the question if he can look around and see if there is something that can help him to go up there. And then he found the ladder to go up, and he was at the beginning of this ladder and he couldn't move forward because he was already fearful about this, what is outside the construct. So I put him back because he was already in his head in the future, and he didn't get any information how to make the next tiny step to go through the ladder. So I brought him back to this place where he was, and I just asked, what is there around you that you can make just one stop farther? And then the information were coming. So this was also my discovery that because I sense this is very important step in this process to going out from this construct, to go to this all unknown and to meet with the fear. And in his case, he was already feeling fear of the fear that was blocking him to going farther in the process. So we had to really slow down. Yeah, and he managed to do that, to go out, but it was really a long process of going out from the construct in his case.
Cool. Like, wow. It's like it worked, right? Like because then the next step, so that the person could move in the direction, was actually to face him or himself, to see like, what is my relationship to the inside, to the outside, from the inside to the outside. What is the fear? What are the stories? What is this? What is going on there? So I had also a client, and she was like, oh, there's almost like there's a threat outside. There's something. And it was like, okay, what is this? So what is blocking? Like, what is the fear? And then we discovered the fear together, and then it was like actually facing an entity. And then the entity, the demon kind of thing, what was like, no, there's the dark thing kind of in front of the window, was becoming, I'm not remembering, but it was actually a life force, what it was becoming. And then it was not threatening anymore, but from the inside, very from the center of the construct, it was so threatening. But as she moved, or I don't know if I think it was a her, but anyhow, as she moved towards the window, the perspective shifted, and then it was not so dangerous anymore. But to be able to, that she was able to move towards the window, she needed to face exactly this fear, what you're mentioning. What was your client also feeling. And that's why you really need to be able to feel, like the client needs to be able to feel, so that things are moving in the energetic, in the mimetic construct. If this is not happening, then it's really only a mind conversation. And the move will, this literally liberating and becoming a choice, getting a choice is happening while they move through the feelings, which are in between the next step. Thank you for bringing this. I think it's super important to check the relationship between inside of the construct towards outside of the construct. This is also an important part of the puzzle.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
I hold also space for mimetic engineering process last week. And what I was encountering was that when I opened some things of the construct, it was like standing at the fork where there are several pathways to go to and navigate, for example, here at this space a little bit more of the construct, or go this direction and investigate a little bit more of the construct. And then I went deeper and deeper into the construct, and there were more and more forks. And it was for me like, wow, there are so many forks. I still have the picture because I wrote down everything. I could go back to every place that I wanted to. And it was like, I was with this fear present that after I went to some place very deep and I noticed, okay, there I gathered everything of this construct. Now I can go move somewhere else, and where to go next. This was something, and I was intuitively going there, and also with this fear of
Leonhard, when you
Yeah.
say you were going there, you were navigating the client, so I don't get it. Okay.
Yeah, I navigated the client.
Okay,
there,
because you're holding space, so the client
Yeah.
goes there. It's a bit
yeah. Mhm. Okay.
be good to be more
Yeah,
specific.
Thank you. I navigated there, and then was with the fear also of how to bring back the person again from this one place of the process to a place where she already was, and I created then the energy already. I went back in my book what I wrote down and created again this space where she was before, that she could go there again and then turn the other path of the fork to the next thing. And this happened quite often in the space. So I'm wondering if there's how you navigate this when there are a lot of forks where you can choose where to go in this construct.
This is a great group question. What did you experience? Did you also had these, that there were forks? Jenya, it looks like you have something to say, or Monica, go ahead.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
Sorry, I invited both of you. I'm sorry. It's not working. Jenya, first you and then Monica, okay? Thank you.
Okay. I just had the same question about the fork, but in general related to the possibility coaching session. And yeah, my question was, do I determine the flow of a fork, or I just go with a client? Because my process was not about, in my coaching, I did not do the mimetic engineering, but I did find myself like in the middle of like 4 directions, and I wasn't certain which one to go. So I would go on one, like into emotional body, and then my client would take me into energetical body. I would go there with her. So and then I had this question as a space holder: do I keep my center and determine the direction, or do I go with a client? So I just have a similar question to Leonhard.
Okay, cool. So I would pause this question, Jenya, and check if Monica has something related to Leonhard's question, and then to put it behind. Cool. Thank you. Monica.
Yeah, thank you. When I feel that I am this crossroad and I feel very uncomfortable and feel that I have to decide where the client has to go, I try to ask. I see this, there are a few options where we can go. Where do you want to go? So I follow.
Yeah, thank you. This is also what I found out, that this works. And for me, somehow, how I understood the mimetic engineering is to get a full picture of the complete construct. So I not only wanted to go in one direction, I want to go in all the directions, see what is there everywhere. So I came back to the place where I already was many times. And
so when you say, Leonhard, I want to go everywhere, what does that mean? Like what kind of territories you want? Because yeah, this is exactly what it's needed, right? Like everywhere is so fuzzy. what actually do you want to discover?
Yeah,
Because
I wanna discover all the feelings and all the 5 bodies within the construct. This is what I want to explore. And when I sense, okay, the construct is not completely investigated, for example, from the energetical body, and I sense there was a fork, then I go back there and see also the other aspect of the energetical body within the mimetic construct, or with the feelings. When the client shares, she feels anger, sadness, and joy about this one thing, then we go first with the one feeling and then with another feeling. And sometimes they flow this flows, but sometimes it's not flowing, and then I'm coming back and check if there's something else, And this worked in this process, but it's a little bit like this coming back is not such a flow. I really have to interrupt and we go backwards again. This is not so, there's something that it's not so flowy. And it also occupies a lot of me, inside of me, where I see, okay, there are these kind of pathways. It's like getting a lot when I want to have them all on this picture.
When you said to interrupt, is about what? It's about neurotic speech, or can you give an example when you had the need to interrupt? Is interrupt about what?
Interrupt was the wrong word. Sorry for that. What I meant is when we reach the end of this one fork, of the one path, then I don't interrupt, but I go back to the fork again and move from there.
Thank you.
it seems to me, Leonhard, that this picture of a fork is supporting you in having the story that you would need to go backwards. It's the picture you are using. I don't use a picture like a fork because it would like have a dead end, but it's an ongoing process. It's like you're walking around. This is a territory, and then you went there, and then you turn back, but it's not turning back, but it's like you move on. It's like you make a path through a territory. So a good question could be, why are you using the fork? What is the necessity of that? And if you got it, you have the possibility to change your mind and have another picture of whatever you use. But I would not use a fork.
I have also a question to that. What I don't know. I'm stucking with this that you are saying you want to go there, and maybe it's this part that you want to something. It's there maybe in part of rescuing the people that is a need that to go there. Is this yours, or is it really the necessity of the client to go everywhere? Or it's the difference between your wanting and what is the necessity for the client.
Leonhard?
Yeah. So
that was a question for you.
This is a good question. For me, I had the impression that, so I did not force the client to go anywhere where she did not want to go, and I saw there's some path, and I wanted to follow this path. And for me, when I'm in my adult ego state, when I want to go somewhere, it's automatically in the service for the other person. And in this case, I have the impression that I was in service and not wanting to go there because some parent ego state or something wants to go there.
I want to add to that I resonate with this, what you are, Leonard, saying. And my experience is that when I see this as a fault, then it happened when the construct was really big. Like when in this one construct, there was a lot of memes. And what supported me was to digging it further to see it more clearly from a bigger perspective, so that I could see that they are actually not faults, but really, when you continue any other path, they are coming back to the same place. So I had to investigate it further to see the complexity and how these strings are really connected.
Eva, could you give an example? Maybe what question do you ask the client to do this?
It's not a specific question, but just going any path further to the point where I see that it's starting to, the word? To come back to the same place. So when I see that there are many different information and elements and they are not connected to each other, then for me it's information that it's not complex, this investigation of the construct. So it's not a particular question for me, but rather going deeper into the path to see how the mechanism is working and the strings are connected. I don't know if I answered your question. It gives you a clarity.
And what are the questions you're using? I think this is what I heard, like really specific. What questions are you using to dig deeper, for example?
For example, so what would happen, or how you do that if some clients say, I'm invisible in the space. So how you do that? Or what would happen if you would be visible? And then like this kind of questions on, you're doing that because of what? So what's the reason you do that? And then, yeah. And then it at the end, it comes that, yeah, the information are connected in these different paths. Yeah, I don't have now a specific question because it depends on the scenario in this construct.
Yeah. Yeah, and before we move on also to the question Jenya brought in, I want to open the space for researching about these territories, Leonhard. What you said is like it's a landscape of a territory. And of course, there are specific ingredients who makes a solid memetic construct really like juicy and super intelligent. It's a unique construction. It's psycho-architecture actually, right? And or 5-body architecture even, because the emotions are included, the energetics, even the physical body is included very often, and the mental body, of course, and somehow also our archetypal body is connected to these constructs, or has definitely the influence. So what are the what territories are you seeing, like and that is maybe exactly what also Nicole, you want to know, and Leon had these questions, these guiding questions in the different kind of territories. So what did you discover in these constructs, and how did you discover? Hello, Gabriel.
Hello, Gabriel.
We're discovering the territory of memetic constructs and finding out for some moments to what are the different kind of territories in the landscape of a construct. it's not kind of a list what you're ticking off, but at the same time, there are ingredients from a construct which are repeating themselves. Celine, I will mute you. Yeah, there's some sound. Good. For example, the benefit. What is the benefit of the construct? This is a corner you can guide your client into. Or what is the price they are paying to keep this the construct? What is the other one was what Eva was saying, this what is the relationship from the inside to the outside, which is also an ingredient which holds the construct in place. So what are the glues outside so that the construct is actually working again and like it's operating? It's similar questions to, I would say, but bigger, to find out how a technology is working. How you have invented different kind of technologies in your body to block something, to bypass something. There are similar questions. Selina, you're muted.
Yeah, like an energetic blockage also.
For example, yes. Who dropped out?
Nicole.
Nicole, okay, she will come back.
Can you say more about the glue from the outside? How this keeps a mimetic construct going?
No, it's not the glue from the outside, but it's the walls need they get a stability. With every distinction, with every old decision, with every habit you planting into the construct, it's almost that every habit is a brick, or every conclusion why it is not working, and every proof you find in your life is almost cementing the wall stronger and stronger. This is what I mean. And then really to dive into this, into the psychic of, okay, how do you do this? And why are you using it exactly like this? But Eva was like, how do you do, how you get invisible? And what is the benefit? Okay. And what is the price? What needs to happen so that actually you can get invisible? Like, how do you do this will lead you to the what actually needed to disappear that you get invisible, right? And then, okay, there's something what disappeared. What is this? And so it's similar also in an EHP where you get the keys. You're also finding it's a path, and the client is guiding you to the next brick of the wall, or yeah, when you have the picture of a wall or of a room. So does it make it more clear that way?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and it can be even assumptions, prejudices, stories, emotions, which are also holding the glue.
The question also that comes to me is that what are the evidences that this construct is working for you? So that he realized that he creates the proof of this construct in his life. I think that is working, that is good.
Yeah, and this you can actually only ask if the client got enough awareness that there is even a construct. Yeah, this is not a question you would ask at the beginning, right? It's like, what? I don't even know. There is something, yes, but I have no understanding. You would kind of invite for jumping the Grand Canyon, and in the between it's like, oh, I'm falling apart. And so this is a question for a bit further down the exploration path. Cool. Anything else? that you found? If not, we are moving to the next question Jenya brought up, which is similar but also widens. It widens the perspective from a mimetic construct into possibility coaching in general.
Mhm.
Would you bring it again into the space, Jenya? What is the
Yes.
question? Thank you.
Yes. The question is about finding the direction at the beginning of a session. That's what I had I wouldn't say challenge, but when I'm asking my client, how can I help you? And then the client unloads so many concepts, and then I'm choosing to, for example, what happened like last time with my client was that she immediately like laid that like my physical body is not feeling well, my mind is occupied with work, my relationship sucks. So I sensed that there is a need to go into scanning 5 bodies, and then we stopped on emotional body and just went deeper and kind of started going into EHP. But then I was sensing that my client would always jump onto something else. All of a sudden, like she's really into her energetic body, and I was following her. And my question was, who determines the flow? I'm scared that with my client jumping all around, I'm just jumping all around with her, and I'm really like not completing any of this, like I don't know, any of the tasks, I guess. Or do I have my center as a space holder, and I'm bringing my client back to what I sense to be the most important direction to go into?
You're actually answering your own question, Jenya. Like where do you have your center in the first possibility?
Where do I have my center?
Yeah, when you're jumping around following your client.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So where is it?
Yeah. I'm sensing I'm giving it away to my client.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for this feedback. Yet like I'm not having an answer to my question on like how do I find the direction when I'm like having many directions to go to at the beginning. How do I choose the fork?
But it's something that is returned to the client, which subject that he wants to pick, give the responsibility to him.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm seeing that way because
Mm-hmm.
I crush in this new way of coaching. I did the old way of coaching, and with the timeline, with the 4 session, in the end, this will be the results. So, but now in the possibility coaching is putting the responsibility to the client. Is what is important to you to get to open doors or and feel. So I understand this, and I'm struggling to change my mindset.
Thank you.
Yeah, what I want to add and what comes to me, Jenya, is you can follow the necessity of your client without giving your center away.
You cannot?
You can.
You can, and you can ask yourself which part of which ego state of your client is jumping around. Which ego state wants to move in some direction. And with that clarity, you can hold the space and navigate to the necessity of the client. And this is not giving your center away then. You do it like that.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't have a sense that I gave my center away. I guess yeah, it's just choosing the direction. But I have two ways: either go with the flow or stick to like one specific topic. But like we will hit this EHP today, or it's going to be whatever it's going to be, and we're just going to discover many directions. And yeah, I was uncertain.
Yeah, Jenya, and there are other options. There are not only these two options.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I would, because the defense mechanisms are so strong, and your client there will mainly at the beginning, people want to do something and want to heal, right? They are sitting there because a part in them wants to transform and heal and face themselves because they are struggling in life. Because, and then the first thing is what you need to check, I would say, is does your, from which part in themselves is the client operating out of? Is it that they want to be fixed or that they want to go on a journey together? Because if they want to have the approach that they get fixed, if your detector is taking it and it's like, oh, when they give you the authority and it's like, please tell me what is the next step, and can you help me? And you will sense it. It has a specific flavor of kind of, please rescue me. Then they are in the please fix me modus. And then this would be the first thing you would address. You would not even go towards what is your topic, because you already see the topic. And when it's not clear what is the purpose of being together, and they would say, yeah, I'm struggling with the relationship with my boyfriend. Okay, what is it? Like, how is the relationship with your boyfriend? Tell me about it. And then you would listen, and then you find out like how she is in this case operating. And when you would slowly dive into a process and you see that she would jump and jump and jump again, it's like, okay, that's a survival strategy starting to act out. Or that might be, but you can sense it. It's like, turn on your fear a bit more and check what is the purpose of her jumping to the next and to the next. It's this escaping. And like, okay, then I would bring it into the awareness and like, do you see what you're doing? I'm observing the last 3 moves you did, that you are moving away from where we wanted to go actually. And then it's like, okay. So I invite you to go back where we were. This is where I want to explore with you at the moment. And of course, then you are navigating. You're the space holder, because you see the defense mechanism operating, and you want to stick where you want to be with her being. And you will not follow the survival strategies and jumping behind the gremlin, so to speak. Right? But you want to, and it's not about moving through the EHP. That's a different story. That's not what you want, right? But you hold the clarity and give the distinction what is actually happening. Yeah.
And for me, there is also something that is coming in your sharing, and something that happened actually in an EHP was learning to negotiate with my client. Like it's not like listening or guiding, but it's both. And maybe that's where there is something at work for you, I wonder.
Would you
It's
say
like-
more about it, Gabriel?
Yes, and it's not very clear. So I'm trying to, anyway.
Don't try, speak.
Yes.
Let your mage speak.
When I have this picture of when I'm holding space for an EHP, that's like, it's more like the emotion that is like the emotional body of the client that is guiding the process, and me doing the job of following the impulses and what is coming. And maybe what I see in possibility coaching, which is more open, there is this space for negotiating. And I will give an example so that I get more clear. I had a client that was pretty much in his head. I know if it's favorite survival strategy. And instead of blocking him and saying all the time, go back to your emotional body or your heart, I was using what he was giving to me. And I was in a kind of dance, like, I'm angry because I don't have the words right now to tell, but I guess there is something about negotiating, like, okay. In another process, I got a client that couldn't hear go when I was encouraging him to say to go in his feelings and emotion. I was saying go, and it wasn't like he had this huge resistance about hearing go. So I found another word, and it worked. So that's the maybe the dance and the negotiation. I don't know if it speaks to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I also want to share some possibility for you, Genia. Because I heard that you're saying that it is in the beginning that the client says that this maybe happened in my life, and this, and I want to go this and this way. So you can ask, what is alive in you right now? What is the most alive in you right now? And give this, let's say, and then the client would have to like react to it and check within himself or herself, and you will probably get the answer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What is more alive? Yeah.
Great. I would move to the next question. Is it okay, Genia? Is it wrapped
Yes,
up?
thank you so much.
Cool.
I think I got a lot of possibilities and a lot of clarity.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Great. What is the next one?
I would like to share. So I did a few coaching and I noticed that I feel guilt when I guide the client towards, into difficult emotions. I have the story that I make them cry or I make them angry, and I did 2 EHP on this and I will keep doing it, but I'm curious if anyone has possibilities for me.
What did you find out so far in the first 2 EHPs about that guilt? Just like a short summary. A short summary.
I found out that it goes back to childhood, to my mother telling me like that I'm the problem. Yeah, it just feels like I'm the problem, and then in another EHP it also goes back to some decision that I made of not feeling my fear. Yeah, and to some memories with my father, and yeah, childhood stuff when I was 4 or 5 years old.
What did you do with the decision about fear?
That it was shameful, that you should never show it, that it's weakness, that it's disgusting.
And did you make some new decision? Yet?
Well, I started feeling my fear and taking time to feel it.
Cool. So probably it would be also great for you, especially because you're researching with this. Do the next fear club, or invite to the next fear club, right? With someone, and ask a fear club space holder and say, I want to research this territory of guilt. Like Lisa Omat is very, a lot researching in this territory about shame and guilt. And probably the next series will come up. I don't know. Like, but you check with her, or check with someone else and say, I want to go on this journey. When do you start? I want to be with you there. Cool. Thank you.
Daphne, I have something for you. Yeah, where is your center? Where is your center when your clients are starting to have feelings towards you?
Yeah, I noticed that, and I get hooked, and then it's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It literally feels like I stepped into mud and I'm trying to get out of it, and at the same time I'm scared, and at the same time I don't want it to be visible. So it's, yeah.
Yeah. The possibility is, I have a possibility for you. And the first one is having your anger, raising your anger when you are holding the session. So the client's anger cannot be bigger than yours. And the other possibility, which perhaps could be a doorway for your session, is when your client is getting angry at you, ask them, who are you really angry at? And keep asking them until they'll tell you a person who they're really angry at. And once you have this person, once you know who it is, yeah, you can do you can do another practice of, okay, I am this person now. Be angry at me right now. Tell me, what is it that you're angry about? And then, like, yeah, you can shift identities, you can be this person, and you can do this practice of your client is you're gonna do completion loops, basically.
So I didn't get it that they were angry at Daphne, or just angry in general. Which is it?
Well, once the person was angry, and she didn't say I'm angry at you, but she said, now I'm angry, and 5 minutes ago I was well. Was that your purpose? And then another time the person was crying. So it's not always anger, but I noticed that with all the, yeah, also with guiding the client into a lot of fear, I feel fear myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what's your story? What's your story, Daphne, about the client in that moment?
Yeah, where I get hooked is that I feel responsible. I feel like I did that.
And what's your story about that, them feeling?
That I created a problem.
Okay, so when your clients are feeling, you have the story that this is a problem.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What was that?
That it's really ironic to, yeah, be in this coaching and want to guide people to EHP if I think that feeling is a problem deep down.
Yes. So why do you want to guide them to an EHP or yeah, what's your purpose?
To free people from having your emotions become like a prison if you don't express them.
Do you know where the thoughtware of feelings are a problem comes from? Because it sounds like you have two things competing. One is it's some kind of freedom or maybe some kind of healing, and the other is it's a problem.
Yeah, that's the childhood, that's the parents, that, yeah, the problem.
Okay, so my possibility for you is for 15 minutes before any coaching session is you really declare your energetic bubble and check where there's still energy from, I don't know, your parents or whoever told you this, and to carefully take that energy out of your bubble before you begin working with your clients. And then also that you have the power to check your stories with your client, that okay, are you okay? You can check, is this a problem?
Thanks. This is really helpful.
Yeah, and it might be also a construct about feelings in general. Like that you do a brain surgery, like pick someone. We will come also in this territory of your colleagues and say, okay, do a brain surgery with me about feelings. And somehow you connected feelings are problems together. Right? And then of course it's still hanging. And there was another door while Dave was asking you the question. You said, I don't know the exact words, but somehow you want to free your clients from the problem, from the feelings. In which position of the drama triangle you're putting your clients?
The victim.
Who are you?
Savior.
Yay. And this is almost from every one of us. Like every one of us knows the drama triangle, right? Like what is your favorite position? Like whose favorite position is the rescuer? This is the coach's thing, or healer. Mainly the rescuers are the healers. And this is where I think possibility coaching really woke me up, that it's not about rescuing people. And healing in the new age scene is so much about, I'm the healer, I give you energy, and then you are healing. Of course, there are also territories where people have the capacity to own their underworld and say, I'm here, I'm holding space, I have healing, I have energy, but you are healing yourself. Like I'm supporting that you heal yourself. That's a different approach than I'm here, I'm the guru or whatever, and then I'm giving you the energy and you're transforming because I am. And this is the pitfall. This is the shadow part of coaching, healing, holding space in general for others. So and this the rescuer is driven by emotional fear, and when you get the kind of the key, what is your specific emotional fear driving your rescuer? And you're already there. You say, okay, feelings are a problem, so I need to rescue them. So you're already there. So discover this fear so that you release yourself and you receive more choice. At the moment, because the emotion is still there, your rescue is activated while holding space. If you're integrating and heal the emotion, you can put it on the way, out of the way. You can stay in your coach identity instead of shifting into the rescuer.
And use the fear to navigate the space.
Yeah. And what Jenya said really raised the anger. The anger keeps the clarity. It's like your sword, like the sharp side is also towards your own throat. It's not only to the throat of your client, but the other side is towards yourself, that you don't bullshit yourself. Right? That you keep, you're observing yourself. You keep track on your own, on yourself. Cool. And bring your findings. This is gold, Daphne. This is really, I think this is the classic that almost everyone who is going into the territory of holding space for people, for transformation, healing, and empowerment, we need to pass this. We need to check our own underworld about that. What is driving? That's why also Dawe was like asking, what is driving then? If not you as a coach, then your shadow purpose is driving, which is the rescuer in this scenario.
Thank you.
Thank you. Another question. Daphne, is this round for you?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Well, there's another interesting question here, which is what Daphne's client said of, is this what you wanted? I'm feeling angry now. Is this what you wanted? Or how did your client say it, Daphne?
Yeah, now I'm feeling angry. Is this what you wanted?
How did you handle that?
That was really hard. And I felt my gremlin telling me, oh, I can answer this. So I kind of stopped myself and didn't really answer. And yeah, I need to watch the recording again.
So what was that? What question, like in our possibility management terms, what was that question she gave you? Selena, she did it. Selena, she was giving you a hint.
My internet kind of stopped. I didn't hear the question.
I see. The internet was intervening. Okay. The question your client was giving you, what was that in possibility management terms? Because this is also what you use in the session or can use. So we are using the term, she throwed a hook and you got hooked.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So that you know, okay, this was a hook. If you see the hook coming, you can go to the side or use the The plate of nothingness. Now, what is it?
The
Disc. Thank you. The disc of nothingness. Or nothing. Yeah. So, or the red cloth. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, and Dewey, can you give an example how you would handle this?
Yeah, well, I want to say one thing, which is that Daphne, the way to identify it, it's not just a hook, it's a gremlin hook. And it sounds like your gremlin got activated. So you can know immediately, oh, okay, it's a gremlin hook because my gremlin comes out to intercept it. And Nicole, yeah, that was my question, is I wanted to talk about it as a team. The way I would handle it would be, my purpose isn't to do anything to you, but it's to be with you as you feel, or to try to stay in contact with the client. And I want more possibilities from the team on how to deal with, you know, this kind of unhidden gremlin. It's almost an attack on the space holder.
And before we go in the collecting possibilities, you said that was a gremlin hook. What other hooks do you know? Would you say a bit more about that? It seems to me that you have more information.
I don't actually. I think of all hooks as only gremlin hooks. Are there more?
No, but the way you said it, I was also curious, like, oh, maybe there's Edge, a brand new discovery. You're just coming out of the expander box in the lab in California, you know, like maybe you bring something super brand new. Okay.
No, I emphasize gremlin because I think it's important to keep it in mind for handling it. That, okay, this is a gremlin. It's not just a hook on my attention. It's a gremlin. So there's a risk of something here. There's a risk of a gremlin war.
Okay, thank you. Would you repeat your question?
My question to the team is, what have you all learned about handling gremlin hooks or attacks on you as a space holder? And my possibility, or what I know how to do, is to speak to the purpose of the space. So if someone says something like, did you want me to feel angry? Then I bring it back to, well, the purpose is for me to be with you while you feel, or something like this. And so I asked the team, what else do you know? What else have you done? Or what has not worked?
Yes, I would speak about the importance to go in liquid state, to take this as an invitation, as the resistance, to make distinction that gremlin is there to protect the box, to avoid the liquid state, which is needed to make the transformation, to go deeper. So this I would bring up there. Yes.
Thank you.
What I experienced, it was even in this training now, is that in the case I cannot even see the hook coming and say something, the hook passing, in the case I really get hooked, it is an amazing possibility for me to become vulnerable in what is happening, like to make myself vulnerable in front of the client and say, listen, this just happened, like I got hooked, and I got hooked in this and this and this way, and this is present for me right now. and now I come back or whatever, but that this possibility is there, that I can also be vulnerable and show what is really going on. And this, I experience that this helps me to disidentify from me getting hooked, like to step away back and be like, okay, this just happens, but I don't have to stay there. Like, okay, it can happen. But when I don't do that and I try to hide that I'm hooked, and then I start also to do gremlin shit and be entangled with the client. So for me, it's all about really being aware, whoa, this is a hook, and I already got hooked, or I'm about to get hooked, or I like to really have like this antennas super alert.
Thank you, Selina. That resonated really in me. And I had a gremlin attack on Thursday, and I'm sensing that I was saying I did completion loop, and that it doesn't work, the completion loop. Yeah, that was it doesn't work, and then what I sense is to say, okay, I see that you are hooked, and then so no, I'm not hooked. So okay, that doesn't work also. And what in that moment, what I was feeling, that I'm wearing a mask to protect myself, because that was so dangerous for me in that space. So I was lost in that place. I didn't know how to handle it. And the idea what Monica gave right now to bring a distinction in, yeah, I will try that the next time. And thank you for that I'm aware of to wear a mask in that situation.
Thank you, Mariel. Another possibility comes to me, which is behind every hook comes an assumption. We had in the expand the box that just happened here, we had a new participant who was attacking Vera for this idea. She was talking about decontamination coaching being 2 years, and so she made this attack on Vera of like, okay, so this a cult that you're trying to get us all into this very expensive, this very profitable business or something like this, and I could see, yeah, this whole assumption of that all the trainings, that other trainings are super expensive, and then also with the hook to Daphne is something like that you are trying to do something to me, that the assumption is we're not on a team. And so my next possibility is to identify what the assumption is, and then ask about it, like what
wow, yeah,
what's going on that you think that I'm not on your team here.
Yeah, then Nicole, go ahead.
Yeah, it's similar what Devi said. This to combine the looping maybe with, oh, what I heard from you is that you feel anger now, and that you assume that I did it to you. So I'm not sure if that will work.
You can try it out. I would say it will not work. When you have an activated gremlin in front of you, this will not work. You are putting an assumption onto the person. So you could say it seems that you have an assumption about the situation. What is that? Or what worked for me is like, first of all, exactly what Selina said. If you're hooked, say, whoa, I've got just hooked. Let me breathe for a moment. And then I would say, for example, okay, it looks like you need to protect yourself. Why would you have the assumption that you need to protect yourself? What is going on? Because I'm on your team. A bit what you said, Davi, right? And really this, whoa, Why would you need to protect yourself? What is going on? And what it needs, you're increasing your sadness and you're lowering a bit your anger. Not too much, but it's almost that you're opening kind of a more tender space so that the gremlin, it's not about rescuing, but not that the gremlin is so indefensive, but that the gremlin can fall into something, almost like imploding into this space. Because the gremlin is only protecting something underneath, which is the hurt little child, right? Like this child part, the emotion. There's something the gremlin is protecting. And this part you would actually address. It's like, what are you protecting? Why you think you need to protect yourself? What is going on? Because yeah, I'm on your team. Yeah. This is how I would do it. And also, what is really going on? There's this vacuum learning and asking vacuum questions, where you ask the same question 3 times, and it's a very simple question. So what is really going on? And then the gremlin might defend him or herself another time. It's like stories, assumptions, conclusions, and then you said, yeah, and I want to know what is really going on. And then you're opening the space, but it's not pressure, it's you're making space. You're creating a vacuum so that the gremlin can fall into it. And it needs their experience, and maybe it's not working at all. You will see it. But the experience gave us that it needs 3 layers or 3 times the same question again and again, so that the defense mechanism is somehow melting. And then you go from there.
What do you mean the questions 3 times, not in the same wording, every time a little bit different? Does I got it?
No, just the same question. Like, what is really going on?
Thank you.
Yeah.
With curiosity, not
yes,
not attacking.
Yeah, not a pressure. Sometimes it's pressure. It's also kind of it's a tool to use. Pressure consciously might be a tool, but with gremlin, we learned the hard way that it's not working, or very often not working, especially with type 1 gremlins. They're just attacking. Yeah.
Wow, amazing tools. Thank you.
And can you speak a little more about these vacuum questions?
Yeah, there are different kind of questions you can ask, where you put a magnifying glass, where it's like, what is going on? Or you say, where do you go inside of yourself? What is the next step? And what did you decide? So you're nailing more the situation, which is a pressure approach, where you say, where you get energetically closer to the client. And vacuum questions are opening a receiving space. For example, what is going on? And how is it for you? If you're there, what is going on? And then you're waiting. And this tension is sometimes not so easy for coaches. It's like, because when you think, when the rescuer part comes, like, I need to fill the space, I'm here, I need to speak, I need to do something. And when all these also survival strategies in a coach coming up, the space will not ease up, because it's really like how you in yourself are able to widen the space, this is how wide the space for the client becomes. Right? Like your experience in yourself is widening the space. Sometimes we are also saying, okay, as deep as you can go as a in yourself, in your own territories, in your inner landscape, so deep the client can fall. Right? And so these questions are very simple opening up questions. I have somehow in the first and the second season, we collected a bunch of questions. I will post them. They are already sorted, and yeah, I will post them. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions. Another question.
I have a question about gremlins. So because as you say, a gremlin is protecting something, and if we are going somewhere, there will be some kind of gremlin activity very fast and almost always. Maybe not attacking, but in some other way, gremlin will try to block the client from getting somewhere deep. And when is it the time, or when is it the time to bring the distinction of gremlin? And I'm asking this question because, for example, yesterday I had a meeting with a couple of possibilitators and 2 people that are on the team. They'll like make a couple of meetings, and there come this thing of gremlin, and we had a long time for them asking, but what is it? What it really is? And it was very, very tricky because my question is it a purpose of do you have experience about or do you maybe have team experience about this, how to put up this distinction? Or
so when it comes on the table, like when it's surfacing itself, I bring it. So how would you bring the distinction of gremlin in 3 sentences, Carol? How would you do that?
I would say that this is a part that protects the box. Of course, I wouldn't say it like this, but maybe wider way.
Like exactly, how would you?
I would say that this is a part that that you have your survival strategy, and maybe we get that this is this strategy and this is this strategy, and there is a part like very smart, very quick, very intelligent part of you that if it is uninitiated, its main task is to protect your strategy, to protect these strategies. And
yeah, and an important part is that you mentioned a part of your being, that the person is understanding the gremlin is nothing outside, invented or something, but it's a part of your being. So this, you see, we call this the gremlin. It's not it's the gremlin. We call it the gremlin in possibility management, right? Like what the gremlin, what the client wants to call the gremlin in its life when of course they're interested in PM, but mainly they're interested, first of all, in working with you personally, because this is very often at the periphery of the game world. And so it's part of your being. It's a strategy. It's the executive of your survival strategies. This is how you used this force of nature when you were a child. And on a longer run, it is that you would gain a new relationship to your gremlin. But this would come later. This is what I'm saying mainly in this sense, right? It's like, okay, this is a defense mechanism. And sometimes I'm not even mentioning gremlin, but as soon as comes up and it's in your meeting, what you said is like, it was so obvious. You needed to bring the distinctions. If not, there would be confusion in the space.
Yes, but it didn't bring the, what happened in the space, it wasn't a coaching space, it was just a meeting space, but what happened is that we started to talking about gremlins for like, let's say 30 minutes. And both of these people said that they don't like the word gremlin and they don't really like this, and their gremlin were activating.
Yeah. So when this comes in a coaching session, which might happen, it's like, okay, in this space, I will name it like that because you're the space holder. And it seems to me that you as a collective, the other people, you were not aligned in the context. If you would have been clear and say, look, this is how we are using it, whatever you do, if you like it or dislike it, I don't care. This is how I do it. And then you are not hooked, but it looks like you got also hooked. And you can.
It happened to be a gremlin party after this, like
yeah.
The gremlins. But what it ended like this is that they didn't have any clarity. Like we spent a lot of time, like in many different ways, and in some way they said, okay, but that's why I ask: is it good to even bring this, because it can take a lot of time, and gremlin itself can put it down, because maybe gremlins see that they will be in some way discovered, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Carol, what I see is your description of gremlin is just all about survival strategy.
Mm-hmm.
And gremlin is really this non-linear creation force. And it happens that when we're children and we need to survive, we recruit gremlin for this purpose. So it's the first purpose we give it is survival, but gremlin can be much more. And in my experience, having this more neutral introduction of gremlin is non-linear. It's a very alive part of you. It's a very creative, intelligent, fast part of you. When you have this neutral thing, then there's not gremlin resistance. But if you only say it's survival, then of course the gremlin is going to try to shut it down.
Yeah, but I did it exactly as, even almost exact the words that you said it. I for example, because I did it this way. So anyway, my experience is that it's really hard, and I don't know if I would like to bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a coaching session is not a friends coming together session. So the purpose of the coaching session is a different purpose. Gabriel.
Yeah, what I had also is that you cannot have a conversation about gremlin with boxes. It's a box conversation. When people want to learn about gremlin and they got interest, it's boxy conversation. That's what is landing in me when I hear you talking. Either you use feelings to get people into a feeling space, but if it's mental space, then it won't work.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, thank you, team. We have 8:30 my time here, European time. Next week, we're gonna get guests. So this will be a client session where we come together first 10 minutes, and then there will be 7 or 8 clients joining. You will go into breakout rooms and you will have 1 hour with a client you don't know. Yay. And then you're always two holding space, and then they come back and they give feedback and coaching. And we are staying there in the big group, and it's really cool. Yeah, it's amazing. It's
Wow.
a beautiful liquid ride together.
And I feel sad because I won't be there, because I will be going to the lab in exactly this time. I will be in the plane.
Oh no. Okay. Okay. So you're arriving really late.
Yes. Like 10 p.m. or something.
Yes, I feel sad about that too. Okay. But thank you for letting us know. She comes to Glarisek. I feel really glad about that. Yay. There's still time to join. Oh, there's a lab going on next week. Good. So team, thank you for your questions. Thank you for the ride, and see you next week. Again at 7.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.